Today, we are going to be making sauerkraut and brats in our rice cooker. Now, there's two different kinds of brats or sausages, whichever you would like to call them. There's the cooked and there's the uncooked. You can do either this way. The uncooked ones, well, generally those are for cooking on grills. They taste better. The cooked ones are for like more towards doing this way, like in a rice cooker or putting them in a frying pan or microwave. But the uncooked ones you can still do the same way. And I'm going to show you how to do both. And the first step for whether it's the uncooked or the cooked, and what I have here, I got these at my local Dollar store. These are jalapeno and cheddar smoked sausages, brats, whatever you want to call them. And these are cooked. You can do them on a grill to heat them up or whatever, but they are already cooked, all the flavors in them. These are what I really suggest for using in the rice cooker method. So I've got it opened and we will put them in our rice cooker. Now I'm using a 6-cup aroma rice cooker. A smaller rice cooker is not going to really work. Larger rice cooker will be fine. The larger the rice cooker, the more brats and sausages you could make. On this 6-cup, a package of 6, and the sauerkraut we are going to be putting in there, it's perfect for this. Works great. Now, at this point, if these were uncooked brats, what you would do is you would fill it up with water until it's just covering the brats. Then you would turn the rice cooker on, put the lid on. Once it comes to a boil, I would say about 10 minutes, maybe 15. It's all going to depend on the brats you're using. The first time you do this, with your rice cooker, all rice cookers are a little different. Use a meat thermometer, otherwise you could cut a brat open. You'll be able to tell if it's done. And like I said, different rice cookers, different brands, they heat up to different temperatures, just a little bit different. Different brats will take a little bit longer or sooner to cook. Roughly about 10 minutes of boiling, maybe 15. I'm thinking about 10 minutes. You could check one. If it is almost done, just a smidgen, not quite done, you can go ahead and move on to the next step. Otherwise, if you check it and it is done, or you are using the pre-cooked brats like we have, now we're going to want to add the sauerkraut. Now, I got these at my local dollar store, like I said, Dollar General. And this is the only sauerkraut they sold. Some people I know don't like it in a can. They prefer the stuff. You can get it in bags, a little fresher. Whichever type of sauerkraut you prefer, get that. Otherwise, the can will work fine. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Now, if you were using uncooked brats and you've cooked them, at this point, what you want to do is take a little bit of the water out. And with the 6-cup here, what you do is you want to probably bring the water down to about the level of the first layer of brats. You're going to want to leave a little of it in there. And then what you do is once you open your can, just pour that in there. Oh, got a chunk of something there. I just pulled it out. That happens sometimes when you get canned stuff. They get heavy chunks of stuff. There we go. Got it out. Darn it, I forgot to grab a fork. I'm just going to use the can opener end in my finger here. even that out, push it down, kind of fill it in around, get a little in there. There we go. Now, on the cooked or the uncooked brats, we'd already have some of the fluid in there, and you probably wouldn't want to stuck your fingers in there like I did. And you should be okay. And what you do is just put the lid back on and let it go for about 5 more minutes, just long enough to heat up the sauerkraut. But I'm using pre-cooked. It does say on the package here. It pretty much just says, outdoor grill, a couple minutes. I mean, these are pre-cooked. What we're going to do is just put a tiny bit of water in there. And it didn't take very much, just to fill in the little gaps. And we don't want to put a lot in there to leach away the taste of the sauerkraut. But as you can see, I didn't even put a 1/4 cup of water in there. Maybe a 1/4 cup at most. And now what we're going to do is put the lid on, and we'll turn our rice cooker on. When this comes to a boil, then you can take and flip it off. And I usually let it sit about 5, maybe 10 minutes. Because the water is hot enough to do everything by that time. Once it starts to get to the boil, and I leave it plugged in, because if you leave it plugged in and you just click it off, it goes on to the stay warm setting. What that does is it keeps from making your sauerkraut all mushy, but it still finishes off warming up the brats. But about 5 minutes after this starts boiling, when it starts boiling, I mean, you can grab them and eat them. They're almost completely done, just not quite. That's why I wait about that extra 5 minutes. And then they're good to go. Nothing's mushy, tastes great. Throw them on the bun. Throw your topping that you like on there. Mustard, ketchup. Well, I don't know a lot of people that use ketchup, but whatever you want to throw on there. Oh, and here's one for you. Try putting a little bit of horseradish instead of mustard. And a lot of people use mustard. Try a little bit of horseradish, or a little bit of mustard and a little bit of horseradish. You will find that actually tastes pretty good. Everybody I've told this to and had try it, I think maybe one person out of all of them did not like it. There's something about that horseradish sauce mixed in with a little bit of mustard and the sauerkraut. I mean, the flavors all work together perfectly. But that's how we make brats and sauerkraut in a rice cooker. I'm not going to go ahead and, like my other rice cooker videos, put a timer down there. I mean, you just bring it to a boil, take and click it off, leave it on warm for about 5 minutes, eat them. If you're doing the uncooked brats, like I went over at the beginning of the video, just put them in there, let them cook for a little bit. You're going to have to experiment the very first time you try this, because every rice cooker is a little different. And you'll have no problems. You ain't going to be throwing away food. You might cut open a brat and it ain't quite done. We'll just put it back in. Let it go for a couple more minutes. If it's almost done, then go ahead and throw your sauerkraut in. Let the brat finish cooking while it warms up the sauerkraut. But all right, with that, I'd like to thank you for joining us here today. You found this cooking information helpful? Thumbs up, would appreciate it big time, really would. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. And I hope you have a great day. And hey, have fun cooking with your rice cooker. Because remember, you can make way more things than just rice with it.